Good afternoon. As you know, the members of the Security Council, we had an informal meeting this afternoon in order to consider the situation in Sri Lanka. The members of the Security Council, we heard a briefing from Mr. Vijay Nambiar on his recent visit to Sri Lanka, including on his discussion with the government of Sri Lanka. We expressed, all the members of the Security Council, our gratitude to Mr. Nambiar and our strong support to the Secretary General for its ongoing efforts on Sri Lanka. The Security Council members, we express our deep concern about the humanitarian situation in the Vani region and the plight of the civilians trapped within the conflict area. And we called all member states to provide urgent humanitarian assistance. The Security Council members, we strongly condemn the LTTE, a terrorist organization, for the use of civilians as human shields and for not allowing them to leave the area of conflict. In this regard, the Security Council members, we demand that the LTTE immediately lay down arms, renounce terrorism, allow a UN-assisted evacuation of the remaining civilians in the conflict area, and join the political process through dialogue in order to put an end to the conflict. The Security Council members, we urge all parties, including the government of Sri Lanka, to abide by their obligations under international humanitarian law and to allow international humanitarian agencies access to those affected by the fighting. The Security Council members, we welcome the news that the tens of thousands of civilians have escaped from the conflict area in the past few days and urge that further steps be taken to allow the safe evacuation of the remaining civilians and to provide to them the necessary protection and assistance. We stress also the importance of the UN role in assisting the Sri Lankan government in attending the present humanitarian crisis under the present dramatic circumstances, looking forward to the solution of the conflict. And we expect also that the Sri Lanka government will support the UN team that is in the field. Those are the main elements of the conversation, of the formal consultations that the Security Council members had this afternoon. Thank you.
Why can't the Security Council put out a statement like this as a result of a formal meeting in a presidential statement or a resolution that would have some clout rather than a press statement after an informal meeting?
Well, you can see that the Security Council has been very innovative in the last weeks. We have adopted the presidential statement on North Korea that is more than a presidential statement, not a resolution, but with very important elements. And I think it's very important that the Security Council works showing its unity, and one way of doing this was to have this informal meeting of the Security Council, agreeing an informal meeting in order to consider a situation that is not formally in the agenda of the Security Council because there is not agreement to have it. But anyway, I think that important is that we have met, that we have expressed our concerns, and that it's very clear with what I just said.
Mr. Heller, your mission has said that it would be helpful to get information not only from Sri Lanka, but independent information to verify the various things that are happening on the ground. Do you feel that in this format, either through Mr. Nambiar or otherwise, that you receive the information that you need, or what more do you need to know in terms of the number of people still in the conflict zone?
Mr. Ambassador Nambiar was on an official visit to Sri Lanka. That's in this capacity that we heard to him, and we have heard in the past Mr. Holmes also a Focha on addressing this issue. And we have heard also with the presence, the intervention of the ambassador of Sri Lanka. So it's very important for us to get all the information available. including also of what is brought out to us by other organizations.
Have any of these parties spoken to the LTT? For example, Miyuki, you've called on the LTT to do many things. Is there any format for you to have to hear what the response from them is?
I can guess that there are appropriate channels to do that, but no comments more on this.
Can you give us any kind of a readout on what Mr. Nambiar told the council since he left without talking to us?
Well, I think that what I just said is the good result of what we heard. But it's to him if he has something else to him to say it. Thank you.
Should we consider what you just read as a press statement or just a press remark?
Just remarks to the press, let's say. Thank you very much.